A deal website sent a promotional email referencing a crocodile attack on a 3-year-old child at a zoo to customers who had previously purchased family zoo experiences. The email was flagged by the child's family. WowShare described the communication as an error and apologized. The apology did not specify which member of staff approved the email for distribution, nor which member of staff selected that particular customer segment as the target audience. A review is underway. EasyJet has rejected a £4.7 billion takeover offer from US investment firm Castlelake, describing the approach as highly opportunistic. Castlelake manages approximately $22 billion in assets. EasyJet's board reviewed the offer and declined it without entering negotiations. The airline's share price rose on the news. EasyJet did not specify what level of opportunism it was acceptable. A Catholic diocese in Las Cruces, New Mexico, is invoking religious freedom protections to prevent the construction of a border wall from damaging the mountain on which a 29-foot illuminated Jesus sculpture has stood since 1940. The diocese argues that rerouting the wall would preserve the integrity of a site visited by approximately 80,000 pilgrims per year. The Department of Homeland Security has not yet responded formally to the religious freedom claim. The Jesus is visible from Mexico. Later in this episode, a Welsh radio presenter enters a binding social contract with everyone in Wales. England cricket captain Ben Stokes and teammate Gus Atkinson received written warnings from the England and Wales Cricket Board following a nightclub incident involving violent conduct. Both men were found not to be personally to blame for the conduct. The board reviewed CCTV footage and witness statements before issuing its conclusion. Stokes is currently preparing to lead England into the summer Test series. The written warning will remain on file. The Trump administration closed a federal criminal investigation into the circumstances surrounding the commutation of a fraud sentence granted to David Gentile, a financier convicted of running a $100 million Ponzi scheme. Prosecutors had been examining how the clemency was obtained. Gentile was assisted in his application by a Catholic priest with connections to the administration. The investigation was closed before charges were filed. The priest has not been named in any public filing. It does not improve from here. A presenter named Ellis James has been publicly claiming, and demonstrating live on air, that he has a mutual acquaintance with essentially every person in Wales. James, who hosts a program on BBC Radio Wales, has been testing the theory by asking callers to name anyone they know while he attempts to identify a shared connection within 60 seconds. Wales has a population of approximately 3.1 million people. James has a documented success rate that his producers describe as high. No independent auditor has verified the methodology. England and Wales are currently enforcing legal prohibitions on abortion in several jurisdictions across the United States, where 14 states have implemented near-total bans since the 2022 Supreme Court ruling. The number of abortions recorded in those states has nonetheless almost doubled in the period since the bans took effect, driven by telehealth providers mailing abortion pills across state lines from states where the practice remains legal. Multiple states with bans have filed lawsuits seeking to stop the mailings. The telehealth providers have stated publicly that regardless of how those cases are resolved, they intend to continue operating. The pills are currently in the post. A nursery worker in England named convicted of child sexual abuse offences that a former colleague says could have been stopped months earlier. The colleague states she raised concerns with management about Bennett's behaviour and was ignored. Bennett worked with children throughout the period during which the concerns were on record. The safeguarding referral that ultimately led to his arrest was filed by a different member of staff. The employer has commissioned a review. US and Iranian negotiators concluded a first round of talks in Switzerland, and both sides, through Reuters, described the outcome as encouraging. The talks are operating under a framework agreed the previous week, which includes a commitment to reach a final deal within 60 days. The 60-day clock is running. Iran's nuclear program has expanded significantly during the period in which previous diplomatic frameworks collapsed. The mediators did not define the word encouraging. A Florida-based investment firm, Castlelake, submitted a £4.7 billion offer Tuesday. EasyJet rejected it. Castlelake resubmitted. EasyJet rejected it again. The second rejection, like the first, described the offer as highly opportunistic. Castlelake has not confirmed whether a third approach is planned. EasyJet has not confirmed what it would like Castlelake to do instead. That is the week. New episode every Sunday. Sleep well.